Hello, my name is Kimberly Smith. I am the founder of BRET Building Relationships in East Texas, and today I'm going to be doing an interview after the bar's interview with Patrick Smith. You want to tell them a little bit about yourself before we get started?
Briefly, again, my name is Patrick Smith. I spent 21 years, 5 months incarcerated. I've been out now for about 8.5 years. And for those of you who didn't have the opportunity to watch the live event, I recommend you go and watch it.
That was June the 20th.
June 20th.
June, excuse me, it was on June 20th, and you will find it on my Facebook page. The link will be in the description. Okay? So, I have a few questions I want to ask you.
Okay.
Are you pretty open about answering?
I am.
Okay. Tell us, how was it when you came home? What was it like?
How was it when I came home? It was rough. I was one who never thought that, I didn't believe in institutionalization. So I never thought I was institutionalized. Unfortunately, when I came home, I realized there was a little bit there. There was a readjustment period. And, you know, when I left, technology was not as advanced as it was when I was released. So I had to learn new things, and it was a learning process. Luckily, I had family and friends, that helped me along the way.
Okay. What difficulties did you face when you first came home?
I think the most difficult thing or things was to one, these things may be simple, but I had to learn to use a cell phone. When I went to prison, there were no cell phones. We had beepers and pagers, so I had to learn to use a cell phone. And I remember my first cell phone I got from the dollar store, and I was so proud of it. But even that phone, it took a little time learning. Also, things like using a debit card, credit card. I had to had to learn those things. And just being around people out here in the free world, that was challenging. I felt like everybody knew I had just been released from prison. I felt like everybody was watching me. Things like that. There are a lot of small things. Going to a restaurant, I had to learn how to order off the menu. And once the food was prepared and arrived, I had to learn how to eat properly, eat slowly. Because in prison, you have about 5 to 10 minutes to eat. And if you don't finish, then that's on you. So.
Okay. How long do you think it took you to adjust? Or are you still adjusting?
I would say I'm still adjusting. There are still things that I struggle with. I am computer literate, but some things I don't understand. I don't understand why that it's like this, and I have to ask questions. Simple things like trying to make me some toast, yeah. Still hadn't got that one right, but it like I said, I've been home now 8.5 years, and I'm still learning new things. So I don't know how long exactly it'll take, but I do know, 8.5 years, I'm still learning new things.
Okay. What played a part in your reintegration?
Some of the biggest, I would have to say family and friends. You know, that support, having that support was huge. I was blessed with being able to be released and come straight out. I didn't have to go to a halfway house. I also didn't have to have an ankle monitor, so I could move around in Texas freely. So you know, that first couple of years, family and friends really helped out a lot. A lot of things that I had never done, I was able to do those things. Six Flags, I had never been to Six Flags, and I was able to go to Six Flags, SeaWorld, you know, just see some other places outside of Tyler. And everybody was patient with me. I think they understood the struggles I was going through. So everybody was patient. So that patience and working with me, showing me things I didn't know, I think that, you know, that played a real big part.
Okay, what advice would you give someone recently released from prison?
Recently released, I would say, I tell people this a lot, and it's pertaining to parole. Now, not everybody that's released they're not released on parole. Some ex-offenders discharge their sentence, do their whole sentence. But for those that are on parole, parole isn't hard at all. 4 things you have to do. You have to report on time, pay your fees, seek and maintain gainful employment, and no dirty urinalysis. You do those 4 things, parole is a piece of cake. But in general, someone coming out of prison, the advice I would give is to just take your time, learn the things you need to do. You know, you don't have to rush into anything. One thing, you know, you definitely want to do is get you a job, and it could be an entry-level position. You know, if you've been to prison and if you worked in the fields or the kitchen, commissary, wherever, you know, I'm sure you did good work for free. So when you come home, you know, you don't necessarily have to come home and make the big bucks. You know, start at the bottom and work your way up. You know, let your work ethic show. And just be patient. Be patient with yourself as well as with others.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to share before we end this interview?
No, I think we covered everything.
Everything? Okay.
Again, I will say, you know, if you hadn't watched the live event, that was June 20th, y'all go check it out.
Please go check it out. I want to say thank you for allowing me to do this interview with you today.
Thank you.
And if you enjoyed this video and would like to see more, please subscribe to our YouTube channel as well as follow us on Facebook and Instagram. That information is in the description. And please leave us a comment. Thank you.